It's time! It's time! It's finally time! Hello and welcome to the Storm Collectibles Street Fighter V series Vega Summer. I'm super hyped for this one. I've been waiting on those guys for a while. I also got Ryu in the same box with him, so Ryu review coming up finally. Once again, been waiting for it forever. But Vega, or M.Bison, has just come out. And you have Kiki, the Street Fighter V supervisor, apparently. I actually kind of want to look that up, who the hell Kiki is, because like super important, supervised by Kiki. Who's this Kiki dude or woman? Who knows? But anyway, that's the box. It looks good. It very much in the spirit of Street Fighter V. You even have like the globe around here, like in the versus screen. Yeah, fighters ready. Muyo Psycho Power. Okay, that was not the best voice. I tried. I'm sorry. But we're not here for the voices. We're here for the figures. And let me tell you, this boy. Street Fighter V. Yup. Bison. Yup. Overall likeness. Very good. Very detailed. Definitely looks like he jumped out of the game. Little bit of a knack I have with the anatomy of this guy. He looks super wide, and I'm not even mad about that because about, you know, Street Fighter V. Have you seen the characters in that game? It's all like super bulky. The thing is though, his torso is just too round. I feel, and that's just my thoughts, you can look at him, you can look at the in-game models, you can look at the pictures. I did it beforehand because I really wanted to be sure, but I feel like he should be a little bit slimmer around the waist over here, and it would be fine if he went out there. So basically just cut that part off. But still, this looks good. I'm not gonna go too deep into my anatomy thing, but it's just like it's a minor thing. What's not a minor thing and should be very important is his size. He stands at, hold on, let me get the feet to the ground. He stands at pretty much 19.5 centimeters to the top of his head, which means he's a little shy of 8 inches. So a little bit bigger than your regular figure, but that's basically what Storm Collectibles has been doing from the get-go. And I like the overall scale, I like the overall size. Let's have a look at the overall detail though. Overall look of the face is very nice. You could say, oh, his lips are a little bit too colorful. I don't really mind. I feel like that's how it is in the game. The hair is very nicely sculpted and very nicely painted. I don't even know what they did there. It's just a very good conversion. Looks like gray hair. Stands out a little bit weirdly. I wouldn't like, you know, how it just goes down here. It's kind of weird, but it's fine. Nothing really to complain about too much. Bison logo on his head also looks good. It is very small, so if you're saying, oh, it's not detailed enough, the paint though is, you know, there's some hits and misses on that, but we'll get to that once we see more of the figure. Shoulder pads, I really like this effect, this metal effect. Looks very cool, has a lot of battle damage in it, and it should, because he's old, and it's Street Fighter V, and probably the last time we see Bison. Spoilers. I said probably, I don't know. Then we have a bit of a nasty paint slip going down here in the line. I mean, I want to be like, oh, it's not that bad, but it is very noticeable, so I gotta be a little bit more strict on that one. You have all kinds of black spots going on throughout the body. You can see over here and over there. Now, you could say, oh, that looks very cool, I like that added detail. I don't really like these, I don't know, it's kind of distracting. I would have preferred them to just do a little bit of shading or something, I don't know. Now, I do like the dirt effect you have in the arms going on overall more, because it's just small spots, but here it's just like, we have some over there, we have some over there, and over there. I don't agree with that. We have the metal bracelets, arm bracelets, the fists, and his entire robe, which is all soft plastic. Just like with all the other Storms, there's a lot of soft plastic, like the shoulder pads. The hat is soft. The arms are not soft plastic, but the fists are kind of soft-ish. And then we got the legs, shoes, pants, Speaking of shoes, they're very shiny, and they should be. First of all, head has some wiggle motion, side to side, and then his head pops off. One thing I know about some collectibles is that stuff tends to pop off, not break off, which is very important, a very important detail. It doesn't break, it pops off. So anyhow, face goes all the way around, I mean the head goes all the way around. Get some very good forward motion, get some nice backward motion. Well, actually not that much. Kind of disappointing. Neck itself has the same thing, goes forward a lot. You can really just like, yeah, like that. And back, it is a little bit blocked by the hair. And even though this is soft plastic, you can see how it's still pulling it back. I'm moving the entire torso and the head still snaps back. So no dice on that one. Shoulder pads, by the way, they are packed in here in this piece, so you can rotate it back and forth a little bit. You have some wiggle motion with that, you have some range, just a tiny bit. Then we have the arm, let me see. It basically goes, the shoulder goes up quite far, but this piece will peg off at some point, because you have this floaty piece in there. But yeah, there it is, there it goes. But you really have to push it in at the same time if you really want to get it up. Would go probably a little bit further, but this is already nice. And as you can tell here, the shoulder pad will move completely out of the way, will stretch, will not be a problem. You can bring the shoulder back and forth a lot, and I like to have this molded part over here to hide the articulation, and it's molded so it still looks good. Then we have bicep swivel for the big. Look at his bicep. Just look at his bicep. Holy crap. And double hinged elbow. It doesn't go up. I mean, it goes up as far as the bicep lets it. We just talked about the bicep, how huge that is. So 45-degree angle, and then the fist rotates around, goes back and forth. It's somewhat limited by the shin guards. It will pop off. There you go. Like I said, it will pop off. It will tell you enough. This is as far as you go. Now it will pop off, not break off. The chest. Oh boy. That just like, you have free range completely. It doesn't go, well, it does go for it, never mind. I was going to say, oh, it does go for it that much. Does go for it very nicely. Does go back a lot. And as you can tell, it wriggles around. Torso, you have some crazy range over there. Also, of course, can bring it around, can bring it side to side and back and forth. Not so much. I mean, it goes back, forth. I mean, you have this blocking it, so yeah, without the robe in a way, it actually goes forward very nicely. The leg does go up a good chunk over 45 degrees. Well, I feel like the torso is moving with it, so we're not cheating. It's basically 45 degrees. And also goes out to the side. Let me try that without getting too much into the rope. Goes out to the side all the way, and also goes back basically all the way. But you have the rope, still a little bit blocking it. You have to fidget around with it, which is very hard to do with me, with having the camera and all this lighting, going around without knocking everything over. Then we have a thigh swivel, of course, can swivel it around, rotate it around over here. Double hinge knees, look very good, nicely molded over there, and of course you have the knee pad. They don't go all the way up once again because of the big pants. You can't really fix that. And we have a nice ankle rocker, goes forward a lot, goes backwards, and a toe joint, toe hinge. Boy, oh boy, I sure do hope you like accessories because he has quite a bit. First of all, you have the two faces. You have the open mouth, smiling face. You have the grinning teeth. Very well done. Very iconic. Then there are some open hands. Clap, clap. We have some more. Still open hands, but reaching forward, reaching for something. Reaching for somebody's head. Going for the grab. And then some more grabbing, energy effect blasting, in the realms of those things. And of course, Psycho Power. These are purple, like a shiny, kind of sea-fresh purple on the back, and on the top they look like normal hands. And I think that looks very cool, actually. We have one of my personal favorites, the folded arms. Looks clean, looks nice, doesn't have you fidget around with your figure, doesn't have you force, doesn't, you know, have the maker of this figure force them to do the super articulation to get something like that done. Then we have some 2 Psycho Power, Psycho Flames effects. And then we have this one where you use the open hand, you just stick it in there. Let me try that out real quick. So you're supposed to use this one and just slide it in there. And then you have your hot punch, I guess? He does like a line when he does the hot punch. I think. It's been a while. And we also have the Street Fighter V base. They all come with that, which, I don't know. It feels kind of wonky to me. I mean, it's not an nested figure. They have a pretty big prongs over here. It's actually, hold on. It doesn't stay. It snaps back, moves to the side, moves up and down. It is ratchet, as you can hear. They really spend a lot on stability with this one, which is why it's kind of looking wonky. And you can move this one up and down, but it's also like there's always like a ratchet, so you have to really push it hard. And you can hear like, eh. This is very, very stiff, but it's all made so it will stay in place. And I don't know, it looks kind of wonky, but it might be a lot more effective than your regular SH Figure Arts bases. And that's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. What do I think about this M.Bison, some Collectibles Street Fighter V? Go! I can really not think of a really, really bad thing about this. There are some slips in the color, there are some of the black lines going all over it, which I don't really agree on, and there's a little bit of flaw in the anatomy, if you ask me. Those are very, very small things compared to very nice articulation, a very cool look. I especially dig the paint job in the metal parts, the arm shields and the shins. It's all executed very well and it looks good. So definitely, yeah, this is the best Bison out there. And this one's definitely worth your money if you ask me. So 100% recommended. If you need a Bison, this is the one to get. So as usual guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like. And maybe subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever. M.Bison. Okay, he's like, Vega Summer. That would be better. That would be Japanese. What this guy wants.